What is going on all? Haydex Gaming here, and today we have a brand new Binding of Isaac drop. The online update is finally here, Repentance Plus. Now take it with a grain of salt, but I'm probably the worst person to be going over update notes, with a total of less than 10 hours of game time and my journey starting about 2 weeks ago. I'll have no clue what a lot of these changes entail, but I am excited to see what is in store for everyone. So I'll have a link down in the description below for Repentance Plus Steam page, the update notes, and my Blind Isaac playlist if you wish to see that. So let's jump right in. Repentance Plus is finally here. Now you can finally stop playing with yourself. Nice little innuendo. So here we can see Isaac vs Gemini, but it's 4 people. So I wrote, "It is I, Tyrone. As promised, the new Repentance Plus free DLC update is here. Today, now. You'll need all of the previous DLC to run it. This is a full-featured release, but we're still calling it a beta. We're still looking to refine things and squash as many remaining bugs. You can do your part to help us by reporting any bugs, desyncs, or crashes to Isaac at nicalis.com with the subject line #Repentance plus beta version 1.9.7.4. I'll have this hash down in the description as well. So here you can see, this looks like the win or lose page, which is actually really interesting. You can see the different characters and a whole bunch of other things. Please include the version number in the subject line and be as detailed as possible when describing the issue. An example of a bad bug report would be, I crashed when fighting Monstro. A much more useful explanation for the developers would be, in an online match with 3 players, I crashed when I used Crack the Sky during the Monstro fight. Include the seed if possible and your crash log that can be found here to your documents, your games, Binding of Isaac Repentance Plus, crash_dumps. This helps us greatly in focusing on the issue at hand and getting it resolved quickly. If you played the Isaac Online Alpha back in January, you already know how some of the online stuff works, but a lot more features have been added since then, including support for all game modes, lots of filtering options when creating or searching for an online match, and a new emote wheel. Press the left Alt key or right stick on a controller to access it. We even added separate group leaderboards for online daily runs. And that ain't all. Look for lots of balancing adjustments and item upgrades, or buffs that'll turn some of your least favorite items into some of your new favorites. Details in the changelog below, also some commonly asked questions below. Edmund calls them CAQ, rhymes, Epicac. Okay, we're going to have lots of fun playing Isaac online together. See you in the basement. So here we can see the end of a boss room and everyone getting an upgrade. Just really cool. You can see all the other players' things. It's really nice. So what can I do online? Answer to that is, what you do online is between you and your webcam. But as it relates to Isaac, you can play normal, hard, greed, greedier, or challenges, as well as daily runs and seeded runs with yourself and 3 friends, or with strangers. So this means you'll just be able to jump into random matches with people, which is super nice as well for those that want to play online but don't have anyone to play with. Can I earn achievements in online play? Yes, all unlocks can be earned in solo play and can also be earned online. Be aware though that you'll have to be in a match from the very beginning in order to be eligible for unlocks. Joining a run in progress does not allow achievements to be unlocked. Next question, are there things in online play that don't appear in solo play? Online play has a few differences from solo play. Defeated bosses will drop an item for each player in the match, and if a match is joined in progress, the new player will be granted several items to catch them up based on how far along the run is. That's really nice that you can join halfway through. I didn't think that would be possible with an online thing like this, but that's super nice and a super good quality of life. Players can spend coins at the revive machine in the starting room of each floor to bring back dead players. Also useful. Be warned, however, that the cost goes up each time the machine is used. Defeating a boss at the end of the stage will also revive any dead players. That's also really nice. So that means, say 3 out of 4 of your team wipe. If that one person clutches and defeats the boss, you'll all be revived back. That means you're not going to die at, like, say, room 1 and then not be in it for the rest of the run. So there might be some other special things to discover online as well. So that's the main differences between online and solo, I guess. Do I need the online achievements to unlock Dead God? If you have not yet completed your Dead God file, you'll need the online achievements in order to get it. If you already have Dead God, you'll not need the online achievements in order to keep it. So that means me coming into this fresh, I will need these online ones, so you can probably expect to see some of them on the channel. Can I play with mods online? No, all mods must be disabled and the game restarted in order to play online. That is a huge change. I assume this is probably just going to be for the beta. I would imagine this game would probably want to push for mods to be online later on down the track. But for now, they have to be disabled. Where are my mods? Repentance Plus has its own mods folder located here. See users, your username, documents, my games, Binding of Isaac Repentance Plus, mods. However, it is currently empty. Mod creators will need to update their mods for compatibility. If you copy Repentance or Afterbirth Plus mods into this folder, you do so at your own risk as things are likely to break. Next question, did anything change in solo play, which is important to know? Yes, there are many item improvements and reworks to experiment with, and many fixes and quality of life adjustments made to both solo and online play. So keen to see what they are. Question, what if I desync or find a bug? If you encounter any issues, please submit a report, send an email to this one. I'll have it in the description if you need it, with the subject line. This will also be in the description, as I mentioned earlier, or newer if you are on a more current version. Be as detailed as possible, include what occurred, what seed, what items, how many players, and the relevant files. Zip the desync log found here and send it through. Crashes should generate 2 files, a text file and a dump file. They are located here in the dumps folder, as I mentioned previously. So the changelog, this is the nitty gritty of what changed. So to me, I won't know any of this stuff pretty much, but to you guys, this will make a lot more sense. Item changes. Tammy's head. Reduce the duration of the animation when using Tammy's head, allowing Isaac to fire more quickly after use. Lemon mishap. Slightly increase the size of the puddle. Also, the puddle will now persist until Isaac exits the room. I'm pretty sure that's a trinket. I know Lemon Party, which is the pill, so I don't know if that changed. Mega Bean creates a catastrophic fart that sweeps the entire room. That seems very funny, very fun to use. Milk. The familiar now follows closely behind Isaac and blocks shots. After 10 hits, the glass will break and give Isaac a tears upgrade for the remainder of the floor. That's really nice. I probably hope that'd be permanent, or if does the milk come back after the next floor? I don't know how that works. I've never used it. Delirious. Summoned bosses will now persist through rooms. Only one boss can be active at a time. The charge is now variable based on the quality of the previously summoned boss. Jar of Wisps. Reduced to a 9-room charge, allowing the wisps to stack up to the maximum number more quickly. That's probably a very good quality of life one, just by the sounds of things. I've never used it or seen it. Abyss. The item quality now impacts the damage of the summoned locust. Locusts now inherit many different effects based on the item destroyed by Abyss. That sounds fun. Flip. Charge has been reduced to 4 rooms for Tainted Lazarus only. Interesting. Portable slots removed from the shop pool, added as a possible reward from slot machines. I imagine more item pools in the slot machines is probably going to be more annoying for players. That may be more of a nerf than a buff to some. Void. Charge has been reduced from 6 to 4. That's very nice. Epiphora. The tears upgrade from firing in a single direction is now a smooth increase instead of being staggered every few seconds. That'll be really nice. God's Flesh. Doubled the chance of shrink tears firing. Shrunken enemies now briefly flash white before growing back to full size. Enemies that explode, fire shots, or summon minions on death can no longer hurt Isaac if they're killed while shrunken. That's really nice. Hushy, while held in place, Hushy now fires radial bursts of shots. It hurts. After taking damage, Isaac's tears will now leave behind small pools of blood creep for the room. I don't know if blood creep is like the passive blood on the floor that inflicts damage, or if it's just cosmetic. But that sounds fun. Mars, in addition to being invulnerable when charging, Isaac will gain a 1-second bubble of invulnerability after the charge. Hitting obstacles also causes a knockback effect to clear any threats from the surrounding area. That sounds like a very good upgrade. I have no idea what it did before that, but 1 second bubble of invulnerability sounds amazing. Evil Charm. Isaac now gains immunity to spider web slowdown, flame attacks, fireplaces, and poison mushrooms. Isaac can also stand in enemy creep for 1 second before taking damage. That seems like a huge buff. Vasculitis. Friendly radial shots fired after killing an enemy will now appear as blood clots to more easily distinguish them. I've had this item before in like my 7 hours of playing, and yeah, that was my one thing, is that when an enemy died, I didn't know if it was them shooting or my shooting. So this should help. Lil Portal has been completely reworked. Double tapping a fire button is now required to launch Lil Portal. After it has consumed enough items in the room and is clear, a single portal will spawn the familiar. Wait. A single portal will spawn and the familiar will now disappear for the remainder of the floor. Entering this portal now takes Isaac to a room where he can pick up or drop off items. This room persists throughout the rest of the current run. Okay, so that sounds kind of cool. That sounds like a super unique item. I want to see how that works. Linger Bean. The fart cloud is now deployed after 4 seconds of continuous fire instead of 7. The cloud starts small and potent and will grow and deal reduced damage over the course of 10 seconds. Jupiter now heals 2 red hearts instead of just a half. That's great. It's like a 3 times improvement. Butterbean, recharge time has been reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. The bean can now be reused after a 4-second cooldown instead of a room charge. So this can be used multiple times in a single room then. Kidney bean can now be reused after a 4-second cooldown. Same thing for that one. Dead bird will remain active between rooms as long as the player is at half a heart. Note, Eve requires 1 full heart. Data miner. Using data miner in a room with an item pedestal will now re-roll it into a glitched item. And now, for even more nitty gritty, the fixes. I wouldn't have seen any of these, so these are all going to be quality of life changes for me that I'll never have to know about. But for you guys, this is probably going to be game changing. Bomb rocks can now create bridges across chasms. Fixed a bug where Technology 2 and Mum's Eye could cause backward firing shots to do excessive damage. So that's probably a nerf to Technology 2 and Mum's Eye by the sound of things. Fixed an issue with the D4 unintentionally being able to force all items in a particular pool to re-roll. That sounds like that's going to be a nerf, but I don't actually understand how D4 works or what D4 is. Parasitoid egg sacs can now be created from technology shots and brimstone beams. Nice. When picking up cards, pills, or runes with tainted characters who carry eternal items, the consumable is now placed behind the item and can be manually selected, avoiding unintentional uses. Great quality of life. The tick trinket can now be removed by picking up the lighter trinket. Okay, so I had the tick on my very first run, and I was like, how do I get rid of this thing? So, quality of life. Chances are I never would have found that though, but good to know. The 404 error trinket now shows which trinket it is emulating. That's really cool to see. I imagine 404 error trinket is just a play on error 404 not found, so it's just a trinket with a unique effect. The short fuse trinket now makes bombs deal 15% more damage. The number of hits required to make the tonsil trinket create a familiar has been reduced from 12 to 20 to 6 to 12, so essentially halving it, nearly. Increase the chances of the wishbone and bag lunch trinkets spawning an item. Lil Delirium now contributes to the conjoined transformation. That'll be a big one. I only just found out that conjoined is from having a couple of familiars. So it's good to know that this one now counts. Once it's been unlocked, the Void Portal is now guaranteed after defeating the Lamb, whoever that is, and Mega Satan. Added several new Eden hairstyles. Okay, I don't know why. Eden must have been just a boring character design to begin with then. I say that in the nicest way possible. Fixed Hush attacking more aggressively than intended when below 50% HP. Fixed Pay to Play challenge incorrectly requiring Mr. Mega to be unlocked. Removed E. coli from Scatman challenge as it made the player virtually invincible. That is a shame because I haven't done any challenges yet, and a cheese like that sounds fun. Fixed enemy tier projectiles not having the same collision size as blood projectiles. It's probably a great quality of life. Fixed being able to re-roll some enemies that shouldn't be re-rollable, i.e. Eternal Flies, Evolved Blood, Puppies, and Rag Mega's purple light beam attack. Reverted the Flesh Megadeth head's base HP from 30 back to its original value of 50, so they buffed that, or nerfed it for us, I guess. Increased the shadow size of Ultra Greed's coins to make them easier to see when falling. Okay, that is amazing. I've done one Ultra Greed fight, and my only concern was that I can't see where things are falling, so I was just taking unnecessary damage. Ultra Greed's coins can now be devolved into coin pickups using the D10. So that is a good way to get more coins for the Ultra Greed slot machine at the end. Stone Eyes now do a full turn before they start firing their laser. This prevents some unfair damage scenarios when entering a room from the bottom door. I think that's a huge quality of life. No unnecessary damage taken then. Fix the shell game showing an outdated sprite when the prize is Scatole. I'm pretty sure that's that Fly Love item from memory. Added the Skeleton Key, Best Bud, Angry Fly, and Sharp Key to the Key Beggar's pool prize. That will be probably a welcome addition, I think. Fixed several items that were missing from Greed Mode's item pools, also nice. Added several baby familiars to the Baby Shop pool, which were previously missing, and removed Sacrificial Dagger from the Baby Shop pool. Probably a little bit of a nerf with a bit of a buff. Good balance. Fixed Guppy transformation not granting flight when obtained from Kid's drawing. That'll be good quality of life and a good fix. Fixed Candy Heart and Soul Locket not updating stats when dropped and picked back up. Adjusted the price of several items in the Stairway shop. Lowered the Devil price of Ocular Rift. Lowered the shop price of D12 and Pause in Greed mode. Fixed D-Infinity displaying the wrong number of charges when first picked up. Fixed Death's List, Sanguine Bond, and Member Card not working with Tainted Lazarus when held by his inactive form. Made Goathead, D7, Pokey Go, Child's Heart, Mum's Pearl, Black Lipstick, and Bible Tract unobtainable in Greed mode. I imagine they probably just didn't synergize well or just didn't work. Made the Amnesia and question mark pills unobtainable in Greed mode, probably for the best. Amnesia Greed mode only has like 4 rooms maybe, so that's not a huge thing. Fixed Bird's Eye, Cube Baby, Pokego, and Blood Puppy not being summonable by Lemegaton. No idea if I said that right. Fixed several familiars not being summonable by Monster Manual. Lowered the Mimic charge of Soul of Judas from 3 to 2. Lowered the Mimic charge of Hematemesis from 6 to 4. Probably butchered that. Increased the Mimic charge of the Tower from 3 to 4. Increased the health and damage of wisps spawned by using Mega Blast and Delirious with the Book of Virtues. Made adjustments to several unfair rooms, oddly configured rooms that would very rarely spawn, and added several new rooms. Added a small amount of boss armor to question mark boss, the Lamb, and Mother, which probably I'm going to make that tougher for me being a relatively new player and not knowing these things. And then finally, why are you still reading? Go play with yourself and or your friends. So I hope that all made sense to you all more than it did to me, and who knows, maybe I see some of you online as I will need those achievements. That's all for today, so like and subscribe if you're keen for more, and I hope you all have a good time zone. That means good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you may be, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye now.